Okay, so today I am talking about Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This is the first Abby Jimenez book that I actually read. I was going to read the third one in the Part of Your World series, but I can't read them in order. I can't read them out of order, rather. So I decided that I needed to read the first one first, even though my friend at work did tell me that the third one was really good. So in Part of Your World, I found it really interesting because you meet Alexis, who is the daughter of some very high-flying doctors. Her brother is a doctor. And they have a hospital where they are literally seen as they're the face of the hospital. So they do all these fundraisers and they're just like that. Alexis is dating one of the other doctors, and that is not a great relationship. It's quite toxic, and she decides that ultimately she is going to split up with him. It's very awkward because he doesn't want the relationship to end. So although he was a little bit of an arse all the way, in the relationship, he is also going through the motions of trying to make life as difficult as possible for her because he doesn't want her to leave. So he thinks that if he does these things, then she'll just turn around and go, you know what, I've had enough, I'm fed up with this, I can't do this, I'm just going to stay. But true to form, she doesn't, which, I'm so proud of Alexis throughout this book. It also shows how families work. So with Alexis, she realises that the relationship she's in is quite toxic, and it's quite interesting how she also shows that mental abuse, so just being told that you're not good enough, and that this person is better, and the way the mind games that he plays with her when he's trying to get her to stay, that kind of abuse can be just as harming to self-confidence as physical abuse. I mean, physical abuse is horrible, but it's interesting how you look at it from the mental abuse direction. I mean, luckily this chap has never been physically abusive to her, but the mental abuse seems to have hit her quite hard at the beginning of the book because she has very low self-esteem and doesn't really think she's good enough for anything. So she then meets, I'm trying to think of his name now. Daniel, that was it. Daniel. I liked Daniel. He did upholstery and he owns a B&B, but he has his own problems too. So for him, his mum is the problem. They kind of didn't really fall out. They fell out. She left, and then and he lived with his grandparents. But when his grandparents died, the house that he lives in, which is this nice big manor house, was left to his mum, and she literally just wants to sell it. She don't care about anybody else. She just wants to sell it. She wants the money. So Daniel is living above the garage and is trying to make it work as a B&B, and then giving her the money to try and get her to keep the house. So in this book, both Daniel and Alexis come from different places, but it's interesting how the interwoven sort of how abuse can take many different phases, and it can be different to other people. I mean, he's rugged. He's a builder. He does upholstery mainly. But, and then Alexis is the doctor who is amazing, and she ends up starting to do, I won't say doctoring, but that's not a word. She ends up helping the people in their small community because the hospital and the GP are really far away. So, yeah, there's a lot of things about wanting to have Alexis wanting to do good. And Daniel just loves her. I mean, it's amazing how you go from one thing where the ex-boyfriend was like so nasty to her at times that you feel like there's no other side to it. And then Daniel is just a lovely human being, and you can tell that he loves her. The other difference is Alexis is rich, and obviously Daniel isn't. And Alexis is also 10 years older than Daniel. So there are a few differences that go through the book. And it's how they navigate those differences, which I think is what makes it really interesting. I don't think I realised quite how deep it was when I started reading the book. But now I've got to the other side. I mean, I haven't got to book 2 yet, but I feel like I needed a break. I was like, oh my God, it was mind-blowing. I've even screenshotted the last few pages, just purely because I love the quotes that are on the last few pages and how that's helping me with my confidence. I mean, my confidence has been dashed in several different ways by various different people in a completely different scenario, which I'm not going to go into. But it's how you pick yourself up and dust yourself off. And, about halfway through the book, Alexis realises that her parents are quite toxic as well. It's when her brother goes and marries a pop or country singer, and moves away that, they pretty much disown him. It's like, no, we don't like her, that's it. And it's interesting how her mum is fueling her dad to have these kinds of attitudes. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end. I want people to read this book, because for something that's quite fluffy, it is quite spicy in places, because the chemistry between Alexis and Daniel is, electric. And it's just amazing. And to be honest, I've loved every second of the journey. I feel like I've grown reading this book. I feel like my opinions have changed. I feel like I'm doing something different. It was just a beautiful book. So I think if anyone gets the chance to, it's not just fluff. It's actually got some really useful things underneath it. So I would read Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. The square this time, because the cover is yellow and blue, various shades of blue, I've incorporated these into the square. And yeah, I just think that it was amazing, and I'm so glad that I read it. So that's Abby Jimenez, Part of Your World. If you like what you see, or you want to hear more book reviews, or you want to continue watching my crochet square blanket challenge for the year, that's the squares are taking on board the colours of the covers of the books that I'm reading, but I'm also going through my stash. The idea is I don't buy any yarn to do this, which at the moment is not going too badly because I have an awful lot of yarn to use up. But yeah, so if like what you see, then please subscribe if you want to. It would be lovely to have you join me for the journey. But that's all from me. Take care, guys. Bye.